I think it will be very different from science fiction stories in the sense that creatures like ourselves, biological creatures, were not selected for survival in space. The conditions are really harsh. If you go, even if you go to Mars, Mars has a very thin atmosphere, so it doesn't protect you. And the bombardment by energetic particles, just being on the surface of Mars for a few years, will kill any person who goes there. So the only way to survive on Mars or anywhere in space for more than a few years, unprotected by the atmosphere of the Earth, unprotected by the magnetic field of the Earth that usually blocks a lot of these particles, that cannot happen for longer than a few years. And so we people that go to Mars will have to go into caves in order to protect themselves by the rock above them. But in space, if you go on a spacecraft, you need to put a very thick layer of protection around you, and it's not simple. So my point is, it makes much more sense to send instruments that have their own artificial intelligence. So now we have AI systems that are almost on the path to driving cars. So I can imagine in the future we'll have AI astronauts, and they could be autonomous. Not only that they can survive in space for a long time, they can also make decisions on their own without waiting for guidance, because the distance across the Milky Way galaxy is so vast that it takes light, the fastest moving thing. It takes it tens of thousands of years to traverse the galaxy. So humans will have to go through a very large number of generations on a spacecraft. That makes little sense. They might not survive. It makes much more sense to send an electronic system. And so if I were to imagine something reaching us from, let's say, that was launched 1 billion years ago by some other civilization, because most stars formed billions of years before the sun. So just imagine something on a journey for millions or billions of years. It would most likely have an AI astronaut on it, some electronic gadget that thinks for itself, is autonomous, if it's still working. If it's a piece of trash, space trash, then it could be anything. Like the spacecraft that we launched 5 probes into interstellar space, and within 1 billion years, they will not be functional. They will be just junk. So we could find things like that. But if I imagine an encounter with something that is functional, it will probably be equipped with artificial intelligence and some technologies that we haven't developed yet, because most likely they're much more advanced than we are.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.